Vroom, vroom.
Well, this is all back on.
Well, we've got the front choppers on.
Yeah.
But you see, the reason this all takes quite a lot of time is, when we took it to bits, the nuts and bolts were desperate. There was different nuts and everything, different bolts and everything. So, you know, old John's had to sort through our bolts, find some nice nylocks and, you know, so they're all round the back there, so there's 16 bolts.
Those are the axles in.
Luckily, we had them. Anyway, it's got the back axle in, and this is all good. It's all connected up good, and that's all in, so that's all right. And then look, that's the panelled rod, which is not very long. Now on them, you know, if you read anything about cars and suspension, they always say make the panelled rod as long as you can. Well, you couldn't make it any longer than that, but so what happens is, obviously, as that goes up and down, it has more of an effect like that than if it was that long. But anyway, that's all right. That's how they did it, and it all worked. So now we've got to sort out some connections for them. But you see, that's the thing. You have to take them. You have to be able to take these off to be able to feel them.
Yeah.
But these are the couple of connections that I had. But I mean, I'm sure we could make up some things to go in there, because you see, like, it's wobbly. And they're tapered in there. Okay. But John could turn something up, I'm sure. Because, you know, they're sealed for life, they're really, you know, they're just modern. But, you know, we might be able to find something a bit more period than that, but they would work.
Okay. Well, it's coming together nicely, isn't it?
The originals are desperate, you know, they've got so much slack. Yeah, no, it's looking good, really. It's a case of getting on with it, really, and keep going. See, that is the torsion bar bit. The torsion bars are in there. And that will just, see, that mounts over there somewhere, and, you know, it all mounts on there, and that's it. Oh yeah, no, that goes right forward to there, down there somewhere, I think. Down there.
To here?
There, yeah. That one there goes to there. And then that one there goes to there.
Okay.
And that's it. And then these all bolt on here.
Okay.
And that makes it nice and soft, you know, make it handle. I don't think this ever had a spring across it. It's always been like that, I would have said.
Good.
Yeah, so there we are. Can you hear that Chinese torture in the background?
Yeah, what's that?
That's a blooming secretary machine.
So the starter motor's on.
Yeah, well, we're on the assembly mode now. The gearbox is in, the shaft is in there. That is all together, done. That is done. Clutch is working. This is all on. This is going to have to be altered slightly because we're going to make a nicer joint there. You know, these little thin things, they're not going to be used. We're going to drill a thing bigger and a bolt, or, you know, something more permanent. That's all on. That, we couldn't get to that grease nipple, so what we've done, we found that bit of flexible, and what we're going to do, that will go on to there, like that. And then we just put a grease nipple in that and just leave it hanging about like that.
And then put the grease in down there?
Yeah, yeah. To grease that, you know, that thing there. And then John's made that nice little cover to go over that, you know, that gear down there, like that. So the starter motor's on.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. Choppers orders are on. So the bits we've got to do, we've got to sort out the leaks to link the choppers orders, because the ones that are on there are desperate.
Yeah, we talked about that, yeah.
That's all done, so that'll all go together. And then the next thing is as a fuel on-off tap there.
Okay.
And then obviously, so then it's going to need a nice pipe going to the petrol tank and a nice pipe going round to here. It sort of comes across here to the pump for the fuel injection. And then we're going to need a pipe going from the engine to the dry sump tank, which goes there. which we're going to have a good look at, because it looks like it'll work, it must have worked, but we're going to have to really give it a clean out. John's welded, there's a bracket that wasn't there, that is there now, but that goes here. There, like that.
Okay.
And then there's a pipe to go off of there down to the dry sump tank. But you see, if that's all looking, that is the breather, that one. Those going over at an angle over there, I can't see why they did that. So we might look into that. That's where the battery's going to go.
You charge that up?
Yeah, and that's out the A35, so if it isn't good enough, we'll have to buy another one, but I think it will be alright. That's all positioned where it's all going to be.
Are these holes in the back, is that to save weight?
Well, yeah, that's obviously drilled originally, we didn't do that. Yeah, it makes it more of a racing car, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I'm very pleased so far.
Does some sort of casing go on the back of here?
Yes, there's a case goes on there with the gears. That's why
Okay.
they're called drop gears.
Okay.
That'll go back. And I've got some spare gears, I think. You know, like different ratios. So I see.
Well, that's good progress.
Right, so now we're sorting out all the pipes. That's on for good. That's on for good.
Are the starter motors on? Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Pipes.
I just was speaking to my mate Greg in
Melbourne.
and he's put an Offy engine in a Type 37, which looks absolutely fabulous, but he's had a bit more experience in these things than us, and he said, you can retard the mag. I've got a drawing of how to do it. He said, John will be able to make that easy, so he's going to send me a drawing. So one of my big problems with this was the high compression and the fact that it would have a load of advance and we can't retard it. But anyway, so that's the problem we've overcome. We ain't overcome it yet, but we'll have the drawing, so that's really good. So that'll be the mag sorted out, hopefully. So then we get on the pipes. Well, all the pipes are donkey's years old, and they're all as stiff and horrible. So that one is the one that comes in the petrol tank with the filter in, a lovely filter in there.
Yeah.
So it's Hillborn injection. But of course, this is all moved, isn't it? But it's all too stiff anyway. That's to switch the fuel on and off.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to have a new pipe from there to there, and a new pipe from there to there. And this was just sort of hanging, really. It was in a horrible old clip, so we've got to think where we're going to put that nicely. So we might have that underneath there and just have the pipe coming out to there.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have all new pipes. And then this is the pipe that goes to the back, which again was held on with Jubilee clips.
Okay.
So we'll have another fitting there and another fitting underneath there. And then that is the return pipe that goes to there.
Which one?
This one here. Which again,
Okay.
it's like, you can hardly, well, as I bend it, I can hear it cracking.
Yeah.
So that's going to go to there, from there. So the fuel line comes down here, from the tank, along here, into there, nice fitting in there, nice fitting underneath, so you can undo both ends like that, and take the fuel line out. Then it'll come to here, and again, we'll have some nice fittings there, so whatever's there, you can just unscrew it. That might not be there, it might be under there, so we'll have a different bit of pipe going to there. Then this thing here goes to the oil pressure gauge, the fuel pressure gauge. So again, that's going to want a nice bit of pipe. And then that one goes to the return. Again, look, you can't even bend it. And again, listen to it cracking. Yeah, so I'll have a new bit of pipe there. So that'll come out of there, go down there and go back to there, which has got a fit in, so that'll be all right. And then this funny little one here, which again, we'll probably have a fitting on that, because I hate Jubilee tips on pipes. So then that pipe comes down and goes to the fuel, to the pressure pump, which is used to start it properly, just to get a bit of pressure in there.
Will you have like a hand pump just?
Yeah, the dead right thing, you know, the proper all-American, what you see on the side of all American cars.
And just while we're talking about midget racers, or looking at this one, what did you get in the post the other day?
Oh, I got that fabulous book, the knife, and that lovely man. Dan sent it to me. We said, can we send you some postage? Oh, no, that'd be all right. What a lot, and what a good thing, you know, all the midgets that race and the people, oh, fabulous. I went to bed late last night looking at it, and I didn't wake up this morning, and I was half an hour late again, so I'll get the second book on.
Dreaming of midgets, Ivan.
Yeah, listen to that.
That doesn't sound very good.
No, so we make all new pipes, and then, you know, again, we want to run them nicely. We ain't just going to have them hanging in there. I mean, ain't necessarily going to bolt them down like a loony, because that's another thing. When it all gets crashed, you don't want it breaking, but, you know, once they come down nicely down here, or underneath the trim, coming up to there, and then coming off of there, and I think that, we think about it, actually, because that's something we might have to look at occasionally, so it don't necessarily want to be tucked away in some awkward place. But anyway, that's on there, but it isn't on there for good, because the pipes, look for the fuel, this is the next pipes we've got to look at. The pipes from there go to here. Just here, look. And that's on the wrong way round.
Okay.
So we turn that round so it's facing. So the pipes will come off there and they go to there. Well, they don't really want to be facing the gearbox. Because obviously the gearbox wasn't there. So we might have to reroute those, re-weld them and have them coming out here so the pipes can run along there nicely, clip or something just there, and down to there. And then that pipe there is the breather, which is that whole roll bit of rubber tube which will come off of there and go into there. So again, that's another pipe we've got to sort out. So the man at Spectrum Hoses is going to be fed up with us, I should think, in about 10 minutes. But anyway, he's very good.
You got to go there?
No, I'll have to go there, yeah. And because they swage it. Mind you, Tim's got a swaging tool.
Okay.
So he might possibly be able to swage the ends of ourselves. Which means that he can supply us with all the pipes and all the stuff. We can make it all lovely, and then we can get the swaging tool and just swage them all on.
Okay. Well, that's massive progress.
Oh yeah.
It's really looking like a car now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they just cover them up, stop dirt getting in there. And again, you know, I mean, those injectors in there, I mean, we don't know how good they are or whatever, but you know, you've got to start somewhere. So we've got a little man that we take diesel ones to, and he's got all the test rig and everything, so you know, if we have any trouble, we'll whip them out and take them to him. And I want to get some for my van anyway. Yeah, so that's all lovely. And that's it then.
And John's doing the exhaust.
Yeah, John's lengthening the exhaust now. And then what we've got to do, we've got to then make brake pipes for all of the brakes.
And do we get those from the hoses place as well?
No, we've got the flexible hoses that go there, because I don't like air-equipped hoses.
Okay.
Go into the actual drum.
Okay.
You know, people do that all the time, and I don't reckon that. I reckon definitely that little bit of rubber is a good thing, and I reckon it gives the brakes a better feel.
Okay.
So that's we'll having that, and then of course we'll have to do all the wiring, because somewhere along the line it's going to have a starter button.
Yeah.
And then if Greg sends us the drawings to make so we can retire the mag, well, that'll be good. And then that's it really. So it's brake pipes, fitting the handbrake and the master cylinder that goes here. We've got all of that. We've got all new things for it. The brake pedal. I think the brake pedal is going to need stiffening. You see that has got a connection to it, and when you press that it cuts the engine.
Oh, okay.
So that gets connected up to the ignition switch.
Okay.
And also, of course, then gets connected up to the magneto.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good thing, that. And we've got to keep all that as original.
I'll tell you what, your bell housing looks like it's always been there.
Yeah, it does. It looks good, doesn't it? I'm very pleased with that. And, you know, we didn't even have to alter this. That had been done. We didn't do that. It had been done previous to us.
Okay.
And the clutch works now.
That's looking good. A trip over the mower.
Yes, we have a weak spark. So I reckon a bit of magnetising will have enough to get it going.
Okay.
But there's a good chance it's going to finish up with a young man. Because this is 1922, we reckon, don't we?
22 or 23, I think.
Yeah, right. So that means it's over 100 years old. And it might finish up with a young man who's young enough to keep it so it'll be 200 years old. Well, what a lovely little racing car. I love it. I think it's terrific. And without front wheel brakes, it'd be even more dangerous, wouldn't it? What was that young man said to me?
Oh, Lewis.
Oh, Lewis. I said to Lewis, he said, the more dangerous they are, the better I like it. That's what you do when you're young, I suppose, isn't it? Paul in Canada sent us a fabulous video, which is on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, was it Midget? What was he called? Landy.
Mate, there's this fabulous video of the midget car racing in the day. I tell you, I was sitting there, I got tears in my eyes almost. And I was thinking, you know, and we all know it's ever so dangerous. And years ago when I was in Hershey, I said to the old boys in Hershey, oh, I'd love to have a go to Midget. He went, look here, son, he said, a lot of our mates have been killed in them. He said, so you want to think twice about that. But I'll tell you what, when I was young, I'd have been in one of them, definitely. Because I never dreamed it could happen to me, like they obviously must have felt. You know, if you raced a midget, you weren't worried about whether it happens to you. You knew it would never happen to you.
Have you made any progress on the Offy today?
Yeah, we've had all the brakes a bit. And we're going to have to make some pads. It's a little round pads. I couldn't even get them anyway. And so we're going to have to make some pads, which is why that's not on there. You know, and John's sorting out the bolts or whatever, but they're funny little brake pads, look. And one of them, it didn't even have a pad in there.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah. See, so that goes like that.
And they're not standard in the UK.
No. See, that's been in the wrong place, because, you know, and there's that little knob there. Mind you can probably turn that, can't you? Of course you can. But anyway, we'll have to make some of them.
Yeah.
So what we do, we'll get some pads, some Mulberry pads, and
Shape them.
put one on the mill, put one on the lathe, think of something. Because I don't know where you'd buy them. Yeah, so we've been beavering away. And I've been sorting out the pipes, you know, for the dry sump tank.
Oh, okay.
Instead of having them pushed over with Jubilee clips, we're going to have them so they all screw on. So
like this here.
So you can take them off. Now this is going to be a temporary measure. Actually, that's quite interesting because they haven't got an oil filter. So obviously the engine's all lovely and clean inside. The tank's as clean as we could get it. But when we put the oil in it, we'll put the oil in the tank, and it will then go down to the oil pump and get pumped round the engine and then back out again. So this is a screen. There's a really fine screen in there.
Was this in there before?
No, this is totally me. This is, and
what's that come from?
Oh, I can't remember.
Where's that come from?
But anyway, we use this on the Hall and Scott engine.
Same sort of thing.
Same thing. So what you do, you connect that up. You connect that up to the dry sump.
Yeah.
Thing, like that. And then I'll have a what do you call it? A tie wrap round there.
Yeah.
And that'll just be hanging like that.
So that's just like a layer of gauze to make sure the oil's clean.
So when the oil comes out of the tank, it goes down there and into the pump.
Isn't that quite heavy?
Oh yeah, but you know, it's only going to be there while we're warming it up, and you know, the first hour of running.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
it's temporary.
then we have a new bit of pipe from there to the tank without this in the middle.
Okay. Oh, okay, so that's...
But luckily, all this here we had in our junk.
Okay, good.
So we haven't had to buy that because it's very expensive.
Okay, good.
So consequently, we've managed to do that out of the junk. And then we'll go and see the pipe man.
Yeah.
And we'll have a new bit of pipe. And then when we're happy that we let this run long enough to get all the little bits out, and there ain't any little bits in there, but this is just in case, then that goes to there. Oh, I remember now. I remember where I got it from. I bought a racing 2-litre Porsche from America, which I completely rebuilt, and when I got cancer I thought I'd never race it, so we sold it, which I'm very sad about really, because I'd like to have kept it, but anyway, that's another story. And that was in the back of the Porsche.
Oh, okay.
Which had a proper oil filter and everything. And I thought, what a silly thing. I took it out, took it to bits, and I couldn't believe what was in it.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's obviously a good idea.
Okay, well, that's all good then.
So since then, like the Hall and Scott had that fitted.
Yeah.
Just that initial running it for the odd hour, you know, when the oil's going round, there is a little bit. What it does is it traps it, and it don't go round forever.
And get it out the engine then.
You know, because you could have a real hardened bit of something, and you just go round the engine and wear the engine out.
Okay, good.
Well, it would be very clean. There ain't no dirt in there, but you can be as clever.
Okay,
There's
good.
apparently in Ferrari, I read about the early days of Ferrari, they just used to have brand new oil going through the engine and running out the other side.
Oh, just to flush it out?
Brand spanking new oil.
Okay, good.
Right, you remember them pipes went off over there? Well,
Yeah.
they're going to go down there. We've blocked that one off.
Yeah.
And we've welded 2 aero-quick fitters. Now, if you look at that pipe, you can see it's struggling a little bit. So, we've only got one of these, but when we go to our Spectrum, we'll get them to supply us with another one of them.
I can't quite see what... Oh, it's a bender.
And then, as you can see, it will go, because your foot's going to be here, in that area, so that will be a good thing. So that's good. There's nothing in the engine at the moment, except assembly oil. So the oil's going to come out of there, and if there's anything in there, it gets caught there. So that oil goes down there, it's dead clean.
Yeah.
And then the oil then comes back to the tank. This is obviously not long enough, so we're going to order some more of this.
Yeah.
So when we've had the right engine running for a time, you know, quite a bit of time, we take that off, and it has a straight bit of pipe from there to there, and from there to there. Now, you remember this thing underneath, Susie, that was facing the wrong way?
Yeah.
Well, not
They're
only...
practically on top of you, I think.
Hang on, come around here. What we've done, we've cleaned the ends off and we put an aero-quick fitting on there. So in other words, they were screw on. They were put on with Jubilee clips before, which is all very nice. But it's nice to be able to take them pipes off very quickly if we take the engine out. And also, it's very nice to be able to wash them out and what have you. So that's that. But I've also put this little bridge, look.
I'm not looking at you lying on the floor, it's funny.
Come on down here. I put that little bridge on there, or John did, because I was a little bit worried about all that, you know, hanging out
your
there.
hand.
It was all hanging out, and I thought when the engine's running and it's all red hot, you know, that's a lot of weight there. But anyway, so that's now a nice solid lump.
Well, that's good.
And will stand up to anything. Right, so
Okay.
that's that. Yeah, so you know, but that is the original master cylinder, which, you know, our lovely man who supplies the what do you call it, seals and everything, he had all the bits for that, which is a miracle really.
Yeah.
So that's going to work eventually.
Okay.
But what I did was I went and got the box that came with the car. These are all the different ratios.
Oh, this is for the back.
Yeah, see, so that's... See, I reckon that's a 4.7, that's a 5.4, that's a 5 whatever, and then there's some
5.3.
and there's some more in there.
Oh, so
you
you've
know,
got loads of gears.
these are not going to be that much relevant to us because obviously when you haven't got a gearbox and you're going from little track to little track, you need to change them. But anyway, so then we started looking at the fuel injection because we're going to need all new pipes everywhere.
Yeah.
So looking in there, we got a spare set of brand new injectors.
Oh, fantastic.
And they're not very clever. They're not like a diesel injector. They're just a hole, you know, because running on methanol, you just lash it in, really. But, funny, you know, the thing is, this goes on there, like that, and that is the return to the tank. So in other words, that all goes down to there, and then that goes off to the tank. Now, to set the richness, you have a thing, they call it a pill.
A pill?
Yeah, they call it a pill. And it goes in the return, in there.
Okay.
It's in there. And in amongst all the stuff,
Is that it?
they're the pills.
Oh, wow.
You see, and you see the hole in the middle is a different size.
Oh, I see.
So that obviously affects the back pressure.
And what are they made of?
Brass.
Okay.
So that obviously affects the back pressure, which is all that lot up.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice and simple, isn't it? If it works, and I'm sure it will. Because, I mean, this is not the only midget that's ever been raced. There are millions of them. So that's nice, finding that, in amongst the stuff. This all came from Shelby, York, when I bought the car. They fitted adapters and used 40mm plugs. That one there, look.
Okay, so they've been messed around with.
Absolutely tortured. Now, I learned this from Brigattis.
Yeah.
You've got to have the plug as near, if you can do it, you want it in the combustion chamber. You know, you look at modern plugs, they've got that bit that goes right in. And the further you get that away, in my experience, the worse it is. That is the plug that would have been standard in the day, which is an 18mm Champion racing plug, 80R. And then that shape there fits that shape down in there.
Just show me the plug.
See, that's got a little bit of tape on it and that down there. Now, I don't know, but in my opinion, that wants to be as close to that thing at the bottom there as possible. Because that helps to transfer the heat out of the plug. So what I'll do is I'll put some plasticine or something like that on there, or something. We don't want to drop it in the cylinder, obviously. And I'll screw that in, and if it touches it, I'll leave it. But obviously you don't want to be gorging it against it because it wants to go on the seat. It's a close thing, but in my experience, that's what it wants to be.
Okay.
You know, if I was doing this again, I'd have a 10mm plug, and I'd have it going through that hole down there into the cylinder.
Yeah.
Which we might finish up with.
Yeah.
Because that works best. But anyway, so that's that. So now, the next job is to go and see the man at Spectrum Hoses, and you can imagine, look, you can imagine.
He's going to love you.
Oh, look, that's
a lot of pipes, isn't it?
But the thing is, the man's very patient and he's really good to us, so I might actually ring up and say, look, you know, they're used to dealing with me. But I only, you know, like I did the Alvis and I did this, and I go there at once in a blue moon, but they treat us like, you know, ever so well. And obviously I get a bill at the end of it all. But again, we don't even pay the bill. He just says, leave it all with me and I'll work it out and send you the bill. Because he knows Timothy and everything, so it's very good. But, you know, it's so good because it makes everything so much better if you've got a nice hose. You know, I mean, when you've got methanol, the last thing in the world you want is something leaking or breaking and squirting methanol everywhere. because A, when it's on fire you can't see it, so it's very important.
Okay.
So that's all going to go. These are the pipes, them pipes. Again, they're really solid. I'm not saying they wouldn't work, but you know.
You're going to replace those as well?
I think, oh look. So I think it's new ones of them. Yeah, so, see, so what we might have to do, we might have to very carefully cut them off, and he might be able to supply us with some pipe and some things, or he might just say, oh, we got all of them, that fitting, blah, blah. You know, so whatever happens. But again, you know, it's old, isn't it? We don't want old.
Yeah, it's about 6 inches in the exhaust.
Yeah, as it happens, we've moved the seat back 2 inches, so it has actually put that in a difficult position. So when I said put 6 inches here, I might have said, I should have said 8 inches, because that would have moved that to there. But then that would have put that in the wrong place. So we decided to just leave that and see what happens, you know. I think it'll be all right. But that looks so much better, Susie, doesn't it?
The pipe, yeah.
Yeah, and then it all coming over this way. Especially when we want to get a foot down there.
Oh, we've got a different fashion this afternoon, Ivan.
Oh, yes, well, after lunch, you know, I always dress for lunch.
Okay. What did you say at the end of the video?
Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to press the like button, and don't forget to tell your friends what a fabulous channel this is.
And have we got any plans coming up in the next little while?
Well, I don't want to go on about that, darling, make all my lovely fans jealous, because they'll all be unsubscribing, going off with you to warmer climes.
Okay.
Going off to New Zealand and Australia for 4 weeks.
Avoiding the English winter.
Yeah. I mean, I've never done that before my whole life. It's only when I met you, darling.